Welcome back. We are going through the swords, the suit of swords in the tarot deck. And what I'm doing is I'm translating the Morgan Greer Tarot, which is based off the Rider Waite Tarot cards. And I'm translating my rainbow cards that I just got recently. This will actually help you to translate your own tarot cards that you have or any that you happen to buy from me. If you didn't catch the first few videos that I did of this, go back and look through those anytime you like. I do all the way up. We are starting this video with the Seven of Swords. So I did from 1 through 6 in 2 other videos, 3 at a time. So right now we're going to start with the Seven of Swords. So the sevens in any suit that you are using, any card, any deck that you're using that's based off of the Rider Waite decks, typically the 7 means that is a time of holding your ground. That is like, okay, I'm going to stand here and I'm standing my ground. That's the type of energy that the 7 cards have. And this is no different. This is, if you look at this picture, you are seeing that you've got 2 swords facing down. And earlier I had mentioned how in the Rider Waite and the Morgan Greer Tarot, if your swords are facing down, it's not all that positive. So you want to look like the swords are facing down. They are behind him. And he is carrying these other ones, the rest of them, over his shoulder. They're not facing down. They're kind of at a diagonal. So this is the type of card where you are, maybe you've just won some battles. Maybe you have gone through a transition and you've had some hard times, or you had to fight for something that you really think about, or something that you really think very highly about, something that you stand for. And you're moving forward now. This is a I stood my ground type of card. I'm moving forward and things are going to get better. If you're wanting to know about like work, or if you're like trying to decide like, hey, is this the type of job that I want to take? You want it, and if you get the 7 of Swords, I would say just be cautious. Don't necessarily say no to it, but be really cautious, because it could mean that there is going to be a lot of you standing your ground in that job that you take. In a relationship too, it might be just that your ideas, the things that you are thinking are important, might be different from your partner. And you may have to have a couple of times of where you're like compromising. All right. So the 7, and also the other thing about the 7 of Swords that I forgot to mention, this one tells me it like immediately. I see it in this one, and I'm going to translate this one in a minute. But in the 7 of Swords, this is also telling you that not everything is being revealed to you right now. So that's the other thing to think about. If you're asking a question about, is this the job I should take, or should I take this promotion, or should I date this person, or how, give me what I need to know about my relationship, and you get the 7 of Swords, just know that you are going to be probably standing your ground on some things with how you think, and not everything is being revealed. All right, so that doesn't mean that people are bad, or that the situation is bad, or any of those things, but you might not know the whole story. So just keep that in mind if you get the 7 of Swords. And this rainbow card really, it gives a really good example of it in my mind. Because look at all the people here. So you've got all of these people down here in blue. And then you have the brighter colors at the top, right? So these people in blue are showing me they're kind of like in the shadow. They are hiding something, right? Something, they may be holding back something. They're not revealing everything to you. This is not necessarily a negative card. It's a be cautious card, all right? And then you've got your bright up here. That means that if you are doing your due diligence and you are cautious and you keep staying mindful, you're going to be all right. You're going to get through it. And if you look, the sky on this is yellow as well. So This is kind of like a transition card. It's kind of like a pause. Make sure that you are checking your surroundings. Stay mindful. You might have to hold your ground with how you're thinking about things. Just proceed with caution. That's what this card is. All right. So the Eight of Swords. Okay, this is one of my favorite cards. This is one of my favorite cards. The Eight of Swords, you guys, this is a very highly transformational card. If you ever pull this card, that means that you are about to transform in a big way in your life. Remember, the swords is about thought, intellect, right? So let's look at the imagery on this one. All of the swords are facing down. Now, there's a positive note on here, and that is that the castle is behind her. Now, not only are her eyes hidden or bound, but her whole entire body is bound, and she's standing here. She's being bound, and she's in front of the castle, and on this card, it doesn't really show as much, but there is water here. So, water is a symbol of travel. It's also a symbol of movement. It's a positive symbol. And then the castle, remember, in the background is stability. This card is telling you, your thoughts are keeping you stuck. That you are not actually stuck, but your thoughts are keeping you stuck. So what I love about this card is that you have the power and the ability inside you to transform your life. Right now, you're feeling stuck. This is a huge transformational card because once you in life realize that you have the power to change your mind or you have the power to get unstuck yourself, big transformation happens in your life. So that's what the Eight of Swords is about. And then here, I love the way it's depicted in the rainbow cards, in the rainbow deck. I think it's great. You've got all of the swords kind of like either facing each other or facing down. It's really hard to tell a little bit, but they look, it's like a power card, right? They're all like, ugh. That's what that looks like to me. And then you've got the symbol of the 8 right here in the middle, which is the infinity symbol. 8 is the symbol of infinity. And then you have all of this power. I feel like this is just like so much power behind here. This deck, this card is showing me that there's lots of things happening right now. There's lots of thoughts that you're having. Look, all these swords are just kind of like in an array. They're all kind of like stuck right now. And there's some darkness down here. And one of the other things that I want to point out on this deck is the rainbow is upside down. So you are being stuck in your mind right now, but you're not actually stuck. You have the power to unstick yourself, all right? And then you have the nice brightness at the top. So this is a light of a horizon, right? I think that's a beautiful depiction of the big, huge spiritual transformation, thought transformation of this card. So once you realize that you have the power to not be stuck anymore, you're going to transform. Your life transforms. The way you think transforms. Big transformational card right here. Right? That's the 8 of Swords. Now, we're going on to the 9 of Swords. All right, so this is the Morgan Greer Tarot 9. The Rider Waite actually has a person laying down that is bound. I can't remember. Actually, I think the person laying down has a sword inside him, like stuck in him. But the 9 of Swords is another one where you are basically, you're stuck in your mind again. This is where your thoughts are. You're feeling stuck. You feel stuck. With the 8 of Swords, your whole entire body, your whole entire being, you think you're really stuck in something. Your thoughts can't get past something. You might be feeling like you don't have a choice in things. With the 9 of Swords, you feel like you're at a place where your mind is telling you things that aren't necessarily true. The nine, if you look at the Nine of Swords, they're sideways, right? They're not down on this card, so it's not as big, or I wanted to say heavy, but it's not really a heavy feeling. It's just that you're not your whole body isn't bound up, right? It's just your hands. And in the Rider Waite deck, this is actually the person laying down isn't even bound at all, but they do have a sword in them, I think. This is a card that is telling you that it's time for you to realize that you're overthinking, right? You're overthinking something. There is some darkness going on with you. You may be in a part of your life where you're in a dark time. You're having feelings of being stuck. You think that you're stuck. You think you have no choice. You think that you don't really have a lot of options. And there's a lot of darkness around that. However, it's in your mind, right? You actually are not stuck. You have the ability to move forward. The darkness doesn't have to be there. You are causing it to be there. That's what this card is telling you. Now, look at the rainbow. This is telling you the same as this. Now, what I like about this symbolism is that you have the darkness here. So here's the darkness on this card. You've got your darkness here. All of the swords are facing down in this deck. I remember I critiqued that earlier. I said I don't really agree with that. I think they should be sideways as well. However, you do have a nice big opening here on the sword, right here, and you can see through to the rainbow. This is telling me that you've got some darkness surrounding you in your thoughts, and you think that you have no choice. Right now, you're thinking you have no choice. Maybe you have a lot of thoughts with all of these swords facing down, and they all have the rainbow colors. You're thinking that you're just stuck. You might even be stuck in your thoughts. However, you have the power to see through it and get to the other side. All right, so you are keeping yourself in this kind of like thought jail, right? I don't know if you've ever gone through a loop, right? A thinking loop. You're keeping yourself stuck in the thinking loop. So this is kind of like a wake-up call card for me when I see it. It's like, oh, okay, you're keeping yourself stuck. There's some darkness going on in your mind. There's darkness going on in your mind. Now get yourself over to the light. What are the things that you need to do to get yourself there so that you can break out of this? That's what this card is. The final card, the Ten of Swords. Wait until you see it. If you haven't seen this card before, it's graphic. So just know that it's a little bit graphic. This is the rock bottom card, you guys. Like, if you get a Ten of Swords, you have hit rock bottom. Okay? This guy is done for, right? That is 10 swords all the way facing down, and it's into him. There is some positivity in this card, though, believe it or not. So if you see right here, there's some water back here, and there's also in the background, you can't see it very well on this card, but there's a horizon on this card. If you get the 10 of Swords in a reading, it means that you have hit rock bottom. You're at the bottom. You've gone all the way down. You've fallen all the way down. Maybe you're at the very grips of despair in your thoughts, right? The good news about this card is that there is a horizon in the distance, and there's only up to go from here. The only way for you to go now is back up. And that is going to happen as long as you can get yourself out of this despair that you might be in. The rock bottom you've arrived, right? And a lot of times what really causes big transformation for us or big change in our lives, if you think about it, it's like with the Three of Swords, right? They're poking through the heart. what changes us the most is pain. Once you go through a big transformation or a big part of your life where you have suffered through a lot of pain or heartache or turmoil, a lot of times what happens out of that is your biggest growth. So that is the positivity in this card. Now check out the rainbow one. The rainbow interpretation of this card is quite a bit more positive looking. I'll let you kind of look at that. All right, this is still the rock bottom card. The sword is facing down, but you know, if you look at this card, actually hitting rock bottom is really, it's a reason to celebrate, because once you hit the bottom, you only can go up from there. Once you hit the bottom, you will make the most transitions in your life. You are going to make change for the positive good because you're at the bottom. It's like if you have ever known anyone who is ever addicted to any kind of drug or alcohol, when they hit rock bottom, that is when they start to heal. And that is what this card symbolizes. You've got your sword facing down, but he's got the wings, right? So the sword with the wings is telling you, hey, there's only one place for you to go now, and it's up. And you've got the horizon in the background, the nice bright colors, right? So that's what this card is symbolizing. You're getting through the clouds now. You've fallen all the way down, and it's time for you to go back up. So that is my interpretation, translated from Morgan Greer Tarot to the Rainbow Tarot. I hope you enjoyed this. Please come back if you do. If you did enjoy it, go ahead and click like, hit subscribe if you want to get notified when I put out more content. Thank you for visiting me here at Witches Wares, and I'll see you next time. Oh, one more thing. I wish you all the magical days your heart desires. See you soon.